Many men over 60 don't realize that what's happening to their penis isn't just normal aging. It's a red flag, a sign that blood flow is slowing down. Pelvic tissues are inflamed, and their manhood is quietly fading. You might notice it when morning erections weaken, when intimacy gets harder, or when you wake up often at night to pee. But here's the secret no one shares. There's an easy, natural fix to bring back what you thought was gone. Just mix castor oil with baking soda. I'm Dr. Flea, a urologist and men's health expert with 30 plus years of experience helping older men regain strength, pleasure, and confidence. No drugs, no embarrassment, and no empty promises. I get it. Castor oil and baking soda? How could that possibly help your penis? But that's exactly why I need you to hear me out. Because this simple mix tackles every key cause of erectile problems: weak blood flow, swollen prostate tissue, stiffness, and toxin buildup in your groin. In this video, I'll explain how this blend works, why it can bring back confidence and performance in just 7 days, and the exact steps to use it safely. You're about to learn what happens when two basic ingredients come together to give your body a fresh start. And by the end, you'll see why this might be the best kept secret in men's health. Before we dive into this powerful healing method, make sure you've subscribed and turned on the bell so you never miss another natural health tip made just for men like you. And if this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I'm always here to learn and serve you better. Let's begin with something most men don't realize. And it's the very reason this castor oil and baking soda method matters so much. It's not just age that weakens your erections or dulls your sensitivity. It's what's happening inside your body. A silent, gradual decline in circulation inflammation, pressing on nerves, and a prostate that's no longer functioning as it should. This is the first key you need to understand, because once you do, everything else begins to make sense. 1. Why penile function declines after 60, and why this isn't your fault. I want to tell you something that may surprise you if your erections aren't what they used to be, if your sensitivity feels dull, or if you wake up during the night more often than you'd like. This is not your fault, and it's not just old age catching up with you. Either, that explanation is far too easy and frankly misleading. What's really happening is more complex and far more hopeful, because once you understand it, you can start to reverse it. You see, for decades I've sat across from men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, strong men, wise men, who felt ashamed. They thought something was broken in them, that they were losing their manhood, that they were less of a man because they couldn't perform like they used to. I remember one gentleman, Raymond, who looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I feel like I've vanished down there." That hit me hard, but I also knew it wasn't permanent because I'd seen men come back from it many times. The real reason your function declines is rooted in blood flow, or more specifically, the loss of it. As we age, the arteries that feed blood to the pelvic region become stiff, narrow, and less responsive. Your penis depends on good circulation more than almost any other part of your body without it. Sensitivity drops, firmness fades, and response time slows. It's not your hormones. It's not your desire, it's your blood. But that's only part of the story. There's also inflammation, especially around the prostate, that puts pressure on nearby nerves and blood vessels. This not only interferes with your ability to get or keep an erection, but also causes that constant urge to urinate at night, breaking your sleep and draining your energy. When your lower pelvis becomes inflamed and congested, it's like trying to run an engine with blocked fuel lines. And then there's stagnation after 60. Many men move less, sit longer, and unknowingly trap toxins and lymphatic waste in the groin. The body's natural detox pathways slow down. Blood gets sluggish, and tissues don't get the oxygen they need over time. This internal congestion starts showing up as fatigue, loss of arousal, numbness, and emotional disconnection. But here's the good news. Once you understand that the problem isn't age, it's congestion, inflammation, and circulation, you can do something about it. Not with pills, not with gimmicks, but with something as simple and natural as castor oil and baking soda. Because the truth is, castor oil has a remarkable ability to restore blood flow, and when combined with baking soda, it becomes even more powerful. But to really grasp why this works, we need to explore what makes castor oil so unique and how it impacts the male body at a cellular level. You're about to discover something most men never hear from their doctors. 2. Castor oil, the circulation warrior, for the male body. When I first learned about castor oil in medical school, it was just a footnote, something old-fashioned, something used in folk remedies and grandmother's pantries. But years later, as I began focusing on men's sexual health, I started to revisit forgotten remedies with fresh eyes, and what I found in castor oil left me speechless. Not because it's trendy or exotic or expensive, but because it works, and it works in a way that modern medicine often overlooks. You see, castor oil has one very unique trait. It penetrates deep, unlike most oils that sit on the skin's surface. Castor oil travels through the layers of tissue. It doesn't just warm the skin, it moves, carrying anti-inflammatory and circulation-boosting compounds directly into congested areas. And that's exactly what makes it so powerful for men over 60, especially when it comes to reviving blood flow and function in the pelvic region. I remember a man named Walter, age 74, who came to me after 2 years of struggling with weak erections and a near total loss of sensation. He tried supplements, even considered injections, but nothing really helped. We began a simple regimen using castor oil packs. Applied gently over the lower abdomen and groin area, within 2 weeks, he returned to my office with tears in his eyes. "Doc," he said, "it's like something switched back on. That's the power of blood flow, and castor oil doesn't just help blood get there, it encourages the lymphatic system to clear waste and reduce swelling. That's crucial for older men, because the groin and lower pelvis tend to become dumping grounds for toxins and metabolic buildup over time. Castor oil stimulates the movement of fluid through these areas, flushing out the stagnation and restoring vitality to tissues that have been starved for oxygen and nutrients. It's not just about performance either. It's about feeling alive again. Castor oil stimulates something deeper, the reawakening of connection to your own body. Some men report a sense of warmth, others a return of subtle sensations they thought were lost forever. This isn't magic, it's biology revived through nature. And the best part, it's gentle, non-invasive, doesn't interfere with your medications or require a prescription. You apply it with intention, with care, and you let it do what it's done for generations. Bring life back to where it's faded. But castor oil on its own is only part of the story when you combine it with the right agent. Something that neutralizes acid, balances pH, and breaks down hardened tissue. The results can become even more dramatic. That's where baking soda comes in, and trust me, it's not just something for your fridge or your teeth. What it does inside the male body may surprise you more than anything else in this video. 3. Baking soda, the detoxifier that softens hardened tissue and clears blockages. Most people think of baking soda as something you keep in the kitchen or maybe use to freshen up your fridge. But inside the body of an aging man, baking soda becomes something far more powerful. It becomes a healer, a gentle natural force that breaks down years of silent buildup, acid, stiffness, and toxic debris that have slowly robbed your manhood of strength and sensitivity. I remember one of my patients, Ronald, age 68, who had lived a clean, disciplined life. But even so, his erections were weak, his groin felt tight and heavy, and he always felt like something was clogged inside. We ran every test we could. Hormones fine, blood sugar controlled. But then I asked him a question most doctors never think to ask. Have you ever tried using baking soda, topically, not just internally? His puzzled look said it all. What most people don't realize is that baking soda is more than just a pH balancer. It neutralizes acid that builds up in tissues, especially in areas with low circulation, like the lower pelvis. When acidity goes unchecked, it creates an environment where inflammation thrives over time. It hardens soft tissue, narrows blood vessels, and makes the body more resistant to healing. This is one reason many older men feel numb or swollen down there, because beneath the surface, their tissues are fighting a losing battle against chemical stress. But when applied correctly, especially when combined with castor oil, baking soda softens what's stiff, loosens what's stuck, and clears pathways that have been blocked for years. It's almost like giving your body a second chance to breathe again. Ronald followed a simple protocol. He mixed a small amount of baking soda into warm castor oil, applied it gently across the lower abdomen and inner thighs, and let it rest under a warm cloth. After just 4 sessions, he reported feeling a warmth I haven't felt since I was 40. And the next week, he came back with a grin and said, Doc, I woke up with morning wood for the first time in 6 years. This wasn't a miracle. It was chemistry. The body finally getting the right environment to restore itself. But what's even more fascinating is how these two ingredients, castor oil and baking soda, don't just help on their own together. They create a kind of synergy. They enhance each other's effects, going, you just need your fingertips, your breath. And a quiet moment when George began this practice, he didn't expect much. But 2 weeks later, he called me. His voice was different, stronger, brighter, Doc. He said, for the first time in years, I woke up feeling like myself again. These points aren't magic. They're reminders that your body still responds. That age hasn't taken everything from you, that there's still more inside waiting to be awakened. But if you really want to take this further, if you're serious about restoring not just blood flow, but full body vitality, then what you eat in the hours after this method matters more than you think, because certain foods can lock in the results, strengthen your erections, and supercharge your recovery, while others can silently undo everything you've just rebuilt. What you put on your plate could either fuel your return or quietly sabotage it. Let's talk about that next 6. The foods that make or break your results after applying this blend. There's a moment after you apply the castor oil and baking soda blend, after you've gently massaged it into your skin, maybe even done the pressure points. When your body is open, it's calm. The blood vessels are wider, the tissues are softer, and your system is more receptive than usual. And this right here is when what you eat matters more than ever. Let me put it this way. You've just cleared the pathways. You've opened the floodgates for healing and blood flow. But imagine opening a clean river and then dumping garbage upstream. That's what happens when the wrong foods follow the right habits. I've seen so many older men do the right things for their bodies and then undo it all by going back to what's easy, cheap, or familiar on their plate. I'll tell you about Bill, 72, former firefighter, tough as nails but frustrated beyond words. He had been doing the method regularly. I feel the warmth coming back, he said, but something's off. It's like I take 1 step forward and 2 steps back. So I asked him to write down everything he ate for a week, and there it was. Tons of white bread, processed meats, cheese and soda. No color, no life, just sugar, salt, and sludge. I helped him shift, nothing fancy, just real food, with purpose beet juice, after application to flood the area with nitric oxide, half an avocado for the healthy fats that feed your hormones, a small bowl of steamed spinach with olive oil and garlic, one of the most powerful natural artery softeners I know, and a piece of dark chocolate, yes, real cacao, because it stimulates nitric oxide and supports male performance more than most men realize. After a week, Bill felt different. He wasn't just feeling better down there. He was waking up earlier, walking further, even flirting again. I thought I was finished. He told me, now I'm planning a weekend with my old high school sweetheart. That's the power of giving your body what it's hungry for after it opens the castor oil. And baking soda method clears the way, but the right foods keep the road open. They anchor the results. They tell your body, yes, I'm serious about healing. And just as food can either heal or harm, so can your mindset. You see, the next layer isn't physical at all. It's what you believe about yourself as a man, as a partner, as someone who still has life to live. Because no method works unless you feel like you still matter. And that's what we're going to unlock next. The mindset shift that changes everything. 7. The mindset shift that reactivates your manhood. Most men over 60 don't realize it. But the biggest obstacle to recovery isn't physical. It's not the arteries or the hormones. It's what you silently tell yourself every morning when you look in the mirror. The quiet belief that this is just what happens at my age becomes a silent permission slip to accept decline. And I want to challenge that right now. Not with false hope, but with the truth. I've sat across from hundreds of men, strong, hard-working men, who had convinced themselves they were no longer desirable, that their best years were behind them. The hurt was never just about performance. It was about identity, about what it means to feel like a man when your body no longer responds the way it used to. And here's the surprising thing I've learned. The body listens closely to what the mind believes. I remember Frank, a 67-year-old, who had survived prostate surgery. He had done the treatments, followed every recommendation. He told me, "Doc, I'm physically fine, but I don't feel like a man anymore." That broke my heart. So instead of more prescriptions, I asked him to do something simple. Every time he applied the castor oil and baking soda blend, I asked him to place one hand on his chest and say out loud, "I still matter. My story isn't over." It sounded silly to him at first, but over the next month, something shifted, not just in his body, but in his eyes, his posture, the way he spoke about himself. "I feel alive again," he said, "not because everything's perfect, but because I stopped treating myself like I was already gone." The truth is, your body responds to intention. When you approach healing, not from desperation, but from belief, something inside reignites you, move differently. You carry yourself with quiet pride again. And yes, this impacts circulation, hormone response, and performance science backs it up. But more importantly, so do the lives of real men who refuse to give up on themselves. So I'm asking you, what are you choosing to believe about your manhood today? Are you waiting to feel strong before you act like it? Or are you ready to act like it and let the strength follow? Because here's the truth. Most doctors won't tell you your body's listening, and every action, every word, every belief is either feeding your fire or slowly putting it out. But belief alone isn't enough. You need rhythm. You need a simple daily plan that turns all this knowledge into results. You've come this far now, let me show you exactly how to make this a 7-day routine that can truly change your life. What happens next could surprise you. 8. The 7-day routine that brings it all together. If you've made it this far, you're not just curious. You're committed. That tells me something powerful about you. You're not one of those men who quietly accepts decline. You're looking for a way back, a way forward. And now that you understand why castor oil and baking soda work, how your mindset matters, and what foods support the process, it's time to bring it all together into one simple, repeatable routine. Because let me be honest, most older men fail not because they don't care, but because they never turn what they learn into something they do. And that's the real key here, taking all this knowledge and anchoring it into a pattern your body can trust. Here's what I tell my own patients every evening. Take a moment to slow down. Don't rush this. This isn't another chore. It's a ritual. Warm a tablespoon of organic castor oil mix in a pinch of baking soda until it forms a smooth, slightly thick blend. Then apply it gently to your lower abdomen and pubic area, the region where blood flow, nerve activity, and prostate health all intersect. Use slow circular motions. Let your hand be firm but kind. This isn't just about applying oil. It's about reintroducing your body to your attention. You'd be surprised how many men haven't touched this area outside of necessity or frustration in years. But here with this blend, you're showing your body that healing is the goal, not shame or disappointment once applied. Lie down for 10 to 15 minutes. Let the warmth seep in. Let the quiet return to your nervous system. No phone, no distractions, just stillness. If you want to go deeper, apply a warm compress for added absorption. But even without it, the blend will do its work right after, not 2 hours later. But right after, give your body the nutrients. It needs a small bowl of spinach or beetroot, a hard-boiled egg, or a glass of pomegranate juice. These aren't fancy superfoods, they're circulation allies. Think of them as fuel for the fire you just lit. Repeat this every night for 7 days. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s start to feel a flicker of energy they thought was long gone, a little more, morning fullness, a stronger stream, fewer night awakenings, more confidence. It doesn't all come overnight, but the path begins here. And the best part, the more you do this, the more your body begins to expect healing instead of decline. That's the real transformation, not just in performance, but in identity. But what happens when those 7 days are up? That's where we unlock the deeper rewards. And I'll show you exactly how to go from short-term change to lasting renewal. 9. What to expect after 7.4 and 30 days. Now let's talk about what actually happens when you follow through, not just for one night, but for a full week, 2 weeks, and even a month. Because I know how easy it is to start something and feel uncertain. You apply the castor oil and baking soda. You eat the right foods, you shift your mindset, and then you wait, you wonder, is it really working? Am I just imagining things? So let me walk you through what most of my patients notice, and what you might feel too. If you stay consistent by day 7, the first thing you'll likely notice is warmth, not just from the oil, but from within a quiet awakening. Maybe you wake up with a slight fullness, a feeling you haven't felt in a while. It's not dramatic and it's not Hollywood, but it's real. That's blood flow beginning to return. Some men also report deeper sleep, fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom, and a calmness they haven't felt in years. That's the nervous system unwinding. That's your body saying, I remember this. By day 14, the changes deep in the area around your pelvis may feel lighter, less tense. That dull ache or tightness you've grown used to it begins to ease. Erections may return with more strength. Even if you're not fully aroused, spontaneity begins to peek back into your life. And here's something powerful. Many men start to want to care for their body again. They start walking more, eating better, holding themselves with quiet pride by day 30. Something deeper happens. You stop thinking of this as a treatment and start feeling it as part of who you are. The healing becomes internalized blood vessels that were constricted, begin to open nerve signals that were dulled, begin to reconnect hormonal shifts, subtle but meaningful, start to support your manhood again, and above all, a deep trust forms between you and your body. I remember one man, Robert, who told me after 30 days, it's not just that things are working again, it's that I feel like myself again. My wife sees it. My walk is different. Even my handshake is stronger. That's the kind of change we're talking about, not just physical performance, but full body restoration. And yes, it all began with a blend most people overlook. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because after 30 days, the real magic begins when your body has been primed and you're ready to introduce one final secret that accelerates everything, a method older generations quietly used for decades now, backed by science. And it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now, ready to find out what it is. 10. The final ingredient hiding in your kitchen after 30 days of consistency. Something incredible happens. Your body is no longer just responding, it's remembering. It's healing the castor oil and baking soda. Blend the nutrients, the breath, the mindset. All of it has laid a foundation. But now there's one more layer to add, and believe it or not, it's probably sitting quietly in your pantry, waiting for you to see its power. It's apple cider vinegar. Yes, that simple cloudy bottle most of us use once in a while for cooking or digestion. But when combined strategically with this routine, it becomes something more an activator, a bridge between your internal systems. I know that might sound far-fetched, but stay with me for a moment. When taken just a few drops in warm water, before your castor oil and baking soda, ritual apple cider vinegar helps optimize your body's pH levels. This small shift reduces inflammation, supports liver detoxification, and improves how your body absorbs minerals. And here's the kicker. It promotes nitric oxide activity, the very compound that triggers stronger blood flow to the penis. For older men, especially, this is the missing piece because it helps the work you're already doing go deeper. It amplifies the effects. Some of my patients describe it like this. It's like turning up the volume on everything. And they're right, within a week of adding apple cider vinegar to their nightly protocol, they report firmer erections, better sleep, more energy in the morning, and a sharper sense of mental clarity. One man even told me, it's the first time I felt truly alive in years. But here's what I think matters most. This last step isn't just physical, it's symbolic. It's proof that you're still curious, still open to growth, still willing to try. That kind of spirit changes everything. It tells your body, I haven't given up, I'm just getting started. And so, with this final ingredient added, you've now built something bigger than a routine. You've built a ritual, a personal roadmap to restoration, a blend of science tradition and self-respect that honors your age, your body, and your future. But what does this all lead to? What happens when you carry this momentum forward, not for 7 days, not for 30, but for life? That's what we'll uncover next. Because the conclusion isn't an ending, it's your new beginning, and in just a moment, I'll show you exactly how far this simple ritual can take you when you choose to truly believe in it. Conclusion. Your new beginning starts now, so here we are. You've walked through a path that many men never even consider, one built not on pills or quick fixes, but on knowledge, tradition, and the courage to try something different, from the ancient healing touch of castor oil to the balancing strength of baking soda, from restoring blood flow to rewiring your nervous system. And finally, that humble bottle of apple cider vinegar, quietly tying it all together. Each piece has built a foundation beneath your feet. This isn't just about your penis, it's about how you feel when you wake up. It's about your confidence when you look in the mirror. It's about how you show up for your partner, your family, and most importantly, yourself. I've seen it happen more times than I can count. Men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, discovering they're not finished, that their body still has stories to write, passion to share, and strength to give. I'm not just sharing textbook knowledge. I'm talking to you as a doctor who sat face to face with men, just like you, frustrated, worn out, but refusing to quit. And here's what I've learned. Those who commit to this simple routine don't just see physical changes, they rediscover something deeper, quiet confidence, a renewed fire. So don't just listen, act, because this isn't the closing of your story. It's the start of a stronger, sharper, more vibrant chapter. You deserve this. Now go take it back. If this hit home, don't stay silent. Smash that like button, pass it to a buddy who needs it, and drop a comment below to share your story. And if you want more videos like this for men over 60, consider chipping in a small donation. Every little bit fuels this mission. You matter, your health matters. Let's move forward together. The billion-dollar men's health industry hides a secret. They make money by convincing you that low energy, fading desire, and lost confidence after 60 are just part of life, and that only costly pills and shots can help. But what if I told you they're lying? What if the answer to feeling strong again wasn't in a drugstore, but in the fruit section of your local market? I'm Dr. Mariah Karat, and after 30-plus years in men's health, I'm breaking the silence. The fix for tiredness and performance struggles isn't lab-made drugs. It's 3 powerful fruits your body loves and needs. Most men think decline is normal, but science proves otherwise. A red fruit that boosts blood flow, a green one that balances testosterone, and a yellow one that fuels your cells with natural energy. This isn't a guess. It's proven nutrition backed by real research and real men who changed their lives. Today, I'll show you exactly how to mix these fruits for a major upgrade in your strength, mood, and intimacy. Stick around. What you learn today could change how you age. And if you stay till the end, I'll share a bonus trick to make these fruits work even better. Before we start, if you want real answers to stay sharp, strong, and confident, hit subscribe and the bell. You'll get honest advice made for men like you. If this helps, comment 1. If not, comment 0, and tell me what you need. My goal is to help you. Now, let's reveal the first fruit. It might shock you. The first fruit we're covering isn't some exotic supplement, but a nutritional treasure studied for its ability to restore circulation, support prostate health, and bring back firmness where it matters most. I'm talking about the pomegranate, the circulation supercharger. I vividly remember a patient, James, 72 years old. He came to my office and poured his heart out. "Doctor, I'm not the man I used to be." His energy, confidence, and intimacy felt like distant memories. What James didn't know was that his issue wasn't age, but something modern science understands well: blood flow. The pomegranate is a powerhouse because it's rich in polyphenols, particularly a compound called punicalagin. These compounds act like pure fuel for your blood vessels. First, they fight oxidative stress, protecting the delicate lining of your arteries. Second, and this is critical, they help boost your nitric oxide levels. Nitric oxide is the body's master signaling molecule, responsible for relaxing and expanding blood vessels. With more nitric oxide, blood flows freely, especially to the areas older men need it most. The speed of the results is remarkable. In clinical studies, men who drank pomegranate juice daily saw significant improvements in erection quality and duration in just 2 weeks. 2 weeks, no side effects, no prescriptions, just biology awakened by a fruit. James followed my advice. 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice every morning. In no time, he came back transformed. His posture was upright, his smile was back, and he joked that his wife was looking at him differently. It wasn't magic, it was science. If you feel intimacy is a memory, don't reach for pills. Reach for pomegranates. They're just the start of the journey, because next, we're diving into the green fruit that restores testosterone naturally. Our second fruit is what I call the silent testosterone booster, the avocado. I still remember the frustration in the voice of a patient, Michael, 68 years old, when he leaned in and confessed, "Doctor, I just don't feel like a man anymore." He was an active retiree, doing everything right, but something essential had shifted. His desire, his vital energy, was gone. Not just in the bedroom, but in life. He felt slower, weaker, almost invisible. What Michael and so many men don't realize is that this feeling isn't just about age, it's about testosterone. And testosterone isn't just a number on a lab test, it's a feeling. It's that fire in your gut when you wake up ready to tackle the day. It's the confidence in your voice, the strength in your handshake, and yes, the passion that fuels intimacy and purpose. The problem is, after 60, levels tend to drop. But there's a natural way to fuel your hormones, and it doesn't come in a bottle or patch. It comes from the avocado. This creamy green fruit is rich in monounsaturated fats, the building blocks your body needs to produce testosterone. It also provides magnesium and zinc, essential minerals for male hormonal balance. And perhaps, most importantly, it's loaded with vitamin B6, which helps lower cortisol, the stress hormone that silently strangles testosterone production over time. When Michael started eating just half an avocado a day, the change was swift. Within a week, his energy surged. He felt more present, more grounded, more alive. His mood lifted, his sleep deepened, and that fire he thought was lost started to flicker again. In a world that sells quick fixes, the truth is, your body isn't broken. It just needs the right fuel. The avocado delivers that, supporting testosterone, and as a bonus, your heart health, a critical piece of the performance puzzle. Our journey now takes us to the third fruit, one so familiar its power is often overlooked. If the pomegranate is the river that restores circulation, and the avocado is the forge that crafts your hormones, then the banana is the power plant that fuels every cell in your body. This isn't just about avoiding cramps, it's about the foundational fuel that sustains your daily vitality. I still recall the case of Thomas, a 73-year-old retired school principal. He was a proud man, always active, but came to my office with a complaint I hear constantly. "Doctor, I'm tired all the time, not just in my body, but in my mind, my spirit. I wake up already feeling drained." He wasn't describing sadness, but a deep depletion. He'd lost his edge. I asked him a simple question. "When was the last time you felt truly energized after breakfast?" He looked at me puzzled. "I skip breakfast most days," he said. And that was the clue. The body, especially after 60, doesn't wake up on its own. It needs a signal, a fuel that speaks the language of your heart, muscles, and brain. That's where the humble banana comes in. Most men dismiss it as basic, but I see it as foundational. Bananas are loaded with potassium, a vital mineral that does far more than prevent cramps. It's a natural protector of arterial health, helping keep blood pressure in check and ensuring the blood the pomegranate helped optimize can move freely. Plus, bananas pack magnesium and vitamin B6, nutrients that work behind the scenes to relax blood vessels and shield arteries. But the real magic is in their ability to generate energy. Bananas provide the fuel your body needs to produce energy at the cellular level. When Thomas started his mornings with a banana, maybe with a bit of peanut butter and a glass of water, he felt a shift in days. He told me, "I don't just have more energy, I feel steadier. I'm not crashing mid-morning anymore." That's because bananas help regulate blood sugar and contain tryptophan, which your body converts into serotonin, the feel-good hormone that calms stress and lifts mood. When energy flows consistently, everything in life gets easier. Walking, thinking, staying present, and yes, performing in the moments that matter. This is the foundation of it all. We've reached the most critical part. If there's one thing I've learned in over 3 decades as a men's health specialist, It's this: aging doesn't break a man, but giving up does. Too many good men accept fatigue, loss of desire, and shaken confidence as the end of the line. But what I've seen time and again is that your body is always ready to heal, always ready to respond when given the right support. We've reviewed the power of three foundational fruits: the pomegranate, which revitalizes circulation, opening the pathways for performance; the avocado, the silent powerhouse that fuels your testosterone and fights stress; and the banana, the energy plant that powers your body and mind. Together, they're not just food, they're the foundation for your restoration. Now, as promised, I want to reward your commitment for watching this far with a clear plan and the bonus tip that supercharges it all. Here's your action plan to start tomorrow morning, what I call the Morning Vitality Trio. It's not a complicated recipe, but a powerful principle. When you wake up, start your day with a 6-ounce glass of pure pomegranate juice. Alongside it, eat half an avocado and a banana. Why together? Synergy is the key. The pomegranate primes your arteries for optimal blood flow. The avocado provides healthy fats that stabilize the banana's sugars, preventing energy spikes and ensuring steady fuel. And the banana, in turn, delivers potassium that works in harmony with the nitric oxide, boosted by the pomegranate. It's a perfect storm of nutrients that tells your body from the first hour of the day, we're rebuilding. This simple 5-minute ritual can have a deeper impact than any expensive supplement because you're giving your body exactly what it needs in the order it can use it best. Try this for a week and feel the difference. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about claiming the vitality that's yours by right. Choose foods that fuel your strength. Choose habits that restore your energy. Because this isn't the end of your story. It's the start of a new chapter. And you're in charge of how it's written. If this message spoke to you, do me a small favor. Share this video. Think of a father, brother, or close friend. A man you admire who should know that feeling strong and vibrant doesn't have an age limit. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's your biggest worry or question about men's health? Leave your topic ideas in the comments. I'll read every single one to make videos that really address what matters to you. And to stay updated on these important talks, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's change the way we think about aging, strong, energized, and full of life. Thank you for trusting me and joining this journey.